Hey, what's going on? First, I'd like to say happy Friday, TGIF. I am actually filming this on a Friday. I believe it's Friday the 16th. This is going to be actually my official first real blog. I do have an intro video that just basically explains what I plan on doing with this. Since this is titled Confessions of a Marine, and I'm very proud of the fact that I am a Marine, my first real subject that I really want to talk about is the United States military, experiences that I had in the military, problems that I see with the military. There is a lot of unfortunate, sad problems. I want to talk about a little bit about Iraq. I am going to plan on doing a completely, probably separate segment for Iraq and my political views on that. What I really want to discuss this time is a lot of the problems that go on with the military that people really don't discuss. Even the military, it takes recognition of them, takes some minor preventative measures to fix them, but they're very bad problems. And unfortunately, one of these problems I'd like to talk about is what ended my career as a Marine. First and foremost, I enlisted in the Marine Corps out of Tampa. I went to boot camp in November '04. Right after the Marine Corps birthday, so it was pretty cool. A couple months before I turned 19. Turned 19 when I was in boot camp. I graduated boot camp out of Parris Island, 3rd Battalion, Mike Company. My platoon was 3020. I'll always remember that. Never gonna forget that. I graduated. Now I believe it was the 4th of something. I'm gonna say the 4th of March. Sounds about right, 4th of March. It was an amazing experience. I mean, boot camp was something that cannot be replicated anywhere else. It's very intense, very rough. Most people will never know what it's like unless you experience it, because the media is not allowed to cover a lot of stuff. We're not allowed to show a lot of people things. The reason why is because it'd be really bad PR if I know when I joined the Marine Corps, I was really scared of a lot of things. I was always constantly looking, constantly talking to people, watching. I was apprehensive. I was nervous. I wanted to know what I was getting into. And if they told me what I was getting into, I probably wouldn't have joined. But when I got there and I didn't have a choice, because some big, mean-looking motherfucker screaming in my face, I did it. But I went through all my schooling, all my combat training, interesting experiences, good times. I was a damn good Marine. I was a good Marine all around. Problems didn't really start to arise until I had gone home and done a little, helped my recruiter out, worked for my recruiter for about a month and a half, and during that time frame I met a girl. Yeah, girls, they are they're a problem. That's for damn sure. The problem here is I ended up getting with her, dating her, and we dated, and we had gotten engaged shortly before I left for Iraq. And I left for Iraq August of 2005, returned from Iraq in March of 2006, March 1st, and I'd actually married this girl in March of 2006 on the 24th. Basically, I mean, I'm going to have a whole nother segment for what really, relationships, marriage, my views on them, but basically I made a big mistake by marrying this girl. She was my first love, first girl I ever fell in love with, but a big mistake. I mean, she's what we Marines call a barracks bunny. That's what she's become. I just happen to be the first Marine that she used. Now, if you really can't catch on to what barracks bunny means, that means she jumps from barracks room to barracks room, getting in bed with Marines. Now, I was the first one. Fortunately, she used me to get introduced into the lifestyle, get to know people. And approximately 3 months after we got married, she had her first affair that I knew of. Doing my research, my investigations, and what have you for my divorce proceedings, I have learned that there's been multiple affairs. This girl's had more Marines inside her than Iraq. But but the reason I say something is because this is one of the problems. You see, and it is a horrifying thing. Is there are so many women out there that are destroying more Marine careers than combat. There are more females, more women out there, this is just military in general, destroying our military force more than just in combat or car accidents or anything that you can possibly imagine. There's more people put out of service. There's more hurt being put on our military from young girls abusing and using the men that serve. I mean, these men are sacrificing so much, and they're, these are some of the greatest people you'll ever come across, and they're being disrespected, trashed upon, destroyed. I mean, I was financially ruined from this girl. I was so emotionally distraught from it that after some psychological counseling, they believed that I was no longer fit for military service. I went from being a damn good Marine to just not good enough, and that was 100% on her. And this happens to so many Marines. So many Marines are lost to the young females of America than they are to the war on terrorism. And the thing is, I really want to kind of raise some awareness about it, because I've actually brought this up with some higher officials when given the chance within the Marine Corps, and we do have programs where they try to educate Marines. But no matter how amount of education you do, you're never going to really teach us you can't put this kind of stuff down on paper. You can't look at me and tell me how it's going to be, what a person's goals are, because when that pretty face is in front of me and she's being nice and she's being sweet, I'm going to think something completely different, if you know what I mean. And I've heard so many horror stories of Marines that, their girlfriend or their wife drove them to the plane, gave him a kiss, and said, "I'll miss you." And right after he got on the plane, she picked up another Marine and moved him into, his room, and he was sitting in his lazy boy watching his TV, having sex with his wife. I've known Marines who were out in Iraq for a full year, and 6 months in, they were allowed to come home for 2 weeks. They came home and they saw their wives pregnant with another Marine's child, and then had to go back to Iraq. Now, I've learned that there's a very good possibility that she probably cheated on me while I was in Iraq. That doesn't surprise me. I mean, this girl, she's a disgusting individual. I mean, she continues to mess around with Marines. She continues to cheat on people left and right. As a matter of fact, she's actually an adult film star down in Miami. Like I said, I'll have more information on her later. And I got my views on a lot of things with that, and those are things that I'll get at later. But basically, like I was saying, that's a big problem that nobody really addresses. Is how many Marines are being discharged psychologically because they're like any other man. I mean, me, I got upset because the first girl I fell in love with, fucked more Marines than I can even begin to explain, and because I was human about it, I was discharged out of the military. I lost my career. Now, granted, I was an honorable discharge, but I was a damn good Marine, and I had a bad year, and because I had a bad year, I was thrown out. And it's sad. It's sad because I could have done great things. It really was a career I enjoyed. I loved being a Marine. I actually was fit for duty before they even kicked me out, but all they needed was that small little leeway to throw me out. I gave the Marine Corps 3 years of my life, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice. I deployed with them. I deployed to Iraq once. I was in line to go to Iraq again, which is why this became a problem. And the moment that a doctor said, "Hey, he needs some time to himself to kind of get his shit straight," they threw me aside. They threw me out, and that bothered me a lot. It showed the Marine Corps claim, take care of your own, take care of your Marines. Well, I didn't feel like I was taken care of. I felt like I was thrown aside. I mean, I was given good advice, don't get me wrong. A lot of people give me a lot of good advice. The problem is they lack empathy. Nobody really touched me on my level. They came at me all hardcore, straightforward, like, with the Marine Corps, we're going to tell you what to do. Well, when you come at anybody like that, what are they going to tend to do? Especially when it comes to issues like their personal life, they're going to pull away. And, better delivery system, maybe things would have worked out a little bit better. But some of the other issues that I see is a lot of Marines do give